What's up? This is the Wolf Pack. So overall, the Australian economy is chugging along. We keep dodging recession by such tiny amounts that a suspicious person would think there's some massaging of the numbers there. Accounting tricks of some kind. But the government would never do that, so I won't say anything there. Either way, we are skating on by, constantly dodging recession like Neo in the Matrix, but not cool. Let's follow the basics of the economy. It's a complex beast made up of many moving parts, and it can be measured in all sorts of ways, but I don't have a PhD in economics, so I'll simplify it. Where does the money go? Where does the money come from? $20 can buy many peanuts. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. So, Australia has many natural resources. Lots of minerals under the ground, dug up and ready to be used for a range of things. You have to go overseas to find out what those things are though, as any more complicated processing happens somewhere else. We just dig it up, ship it overseas and hope for the best. We have plenty, so there is money being made. But we could keep more of it, make more complicated things. Use more of our gas, coal, and uranium for power. Could be cheap as chips if we did. But why the hell would we do that, right? Nobody wants cheap electricity. Even though it could power all sorts of industry if the power was cheap and reliable. All sorts of middle-class manufacturing jobs. Car companies didn't leave Australia 20 years or so ago because the power was getting expensive. Cheap power filtering through to lowering all sorts of input costs for lots of businesses, lowering costs of almost all products and services. Sounds awful, right? These companies digging stuff up, shipping the raw material overseas, must be green and gold proper Aussie companies, right? Wrong bucko. All overseas-based companies, that then would shift the revenue overseas and pay as little tax as they can here in Australia. Personally, I don't care. Listen to the Kerry Packer tax speech to understand why. Most people honestly wouldn't if the rest of the economy was handled properly, but that isn't the case. There are jokes that all we do in Australia is dig stuff out of the ground, make coffees, and flip houses. So I've covered the dig stuff out of the ground. Make coffees. Well, the costs of all of that goes up, so your flat white price keeps going up, as the input costs keep going up. How many cafes have closed in the last few years? Don't look up hospitality business closures if you want to keep your sanity in check. So making coffees as an industry is getting a gut punch. It won't go away, we all like our coffee too much, but tough times ahead. So, flipping houses. This one is a wild ride. A normal person would think, how is this an industry? And in a sane world, it shouldn't be. It's a house. It's a place to live. Bricks piled up with a roof to have people live in them. Landlords have existed forever, so it's not like it's a new thing that just popped up, as there's always people who want to rent places to live instead of buying a house, so that's fine. But once everyone and their dog thought it was a get-rich scheme, then the trouble began. But on its own, there'd be an uptick, but it would burn itself out over time. Unless you get backing by someone with deep pockets. Who's got deeper pockets than the robber-in-chief? Government has all sorts of policies to help out. Tax advantages. Bringing in millions of people to bid for houses. Low interest rates until recently. Banks pivoting their model to mortgages over business investment, combined with too much red tape on business investment and startup. What would that look like? House prices being 3 to 5 times yearly salary to 15 times salary over a few years. No? Maybe? So, okay, let's start with the individual. I get it on an individual level. You have some extra money to invest. You'd like to start a business, but the regulatory environment is a headache, so you say forget about it. Buy a house, you have a decent amount for a down payment, take a mortgage against the house you already have, at near zero interest. So you get a place to be rented out, have someone living there for a few years, then hear the news, see the rigged system, and get that house valued, and find out that the place is worth way more than you paid for it. Your rental income has been a reasonable amount, paying nice amounts off that loan you have. Any expenses you incur in the upkeep of the place can be claimed, so it's going well for you. But man, the place is worth so much. Okay, I'll sell it to some foreigner you saw at the airport, with a briefcase with dollar signs on it. The Monopoly Man. He can't speak English, but dollars are the universal language. K.A. Ching. He paid so much your loan is paid off, you get your down payment back plus profit. Now you can go to the coast, smoke a cigar and be proud of how great you are at property investment. You're a goddamn rockstar, man. But look, on the individual level, good for you. Honestly. You gamed the system. If I was able to do it a few years back, I'd have done it too. But now what happens? New owner of the place goes to the tenant, see how much the rent is, sees it makes no sense to make their money back at the rate it is, so now they jack up the price. So now the tenant now has to see, can they afford the new price, or do they have to move somewhere else? So dig deeper into their pocket to live in the same place? Or try and find a place closer to the price they were paying, with all the new hassle of moving, setting up their life around the new place and hoping it doesn't happen again in the future. Both crap options. So imagine that on a countrywide scale. Imagine everyone capable of doing that, does exactly that, with all sorts of money flowing to provide benefits to the people buying the houses? It doesn't sound very good, does it? What are the implications here? Beyond the obvious ones, it's more expensive just to have a place to live. Well, after that, if more of your money is going to just rent mortgage, then by definition less is going to anything else. So less money to spend on the things you want to. So you might have to cut out some activity to pay your rent. Less eating out. Less going for a drink. No more gym membership. Whatever it is, you pay less to these businesses, then these businesses slow down, employ less people, or if bad enough, close down. Business closes down, there's a few people without jobs. Do you see the downstream effects happening? So the normal working people cop these conditions. The people with money put the money into their rental portfolio instead of opening a business that could employ people. But nope, they are racking up properties like it's a real-life Monopoly game. Hotel on Mayfair. If you've ever played a game of Monopoly all the way to the end, all 3 hours, without flipping the table over first, then it's exactly what's happening to this country. Community chest is tax benefits and cheap loans instead of $10 for getting second place in a beauty contest. First place was a German Shepherd's asshole. Enjoy your Monopoly money, cause once the game is over, you all may wish the board was flipped. Good luck, my working class people. It's gonna be wild times ahead, so hold on to your balls. Remember to do the good old YouTube thing. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all. Until next time. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. Welcome to the pack.